From Studio 1A in Tampa, Florida, comes a talk show that really feels your pain and tells you like it is. We love America and all that freedom-loving Americans want to protect. Live from coast to coast and on your radio, it's For the People with Keith Allen.
We'll help you survive this thing called life. We're for the people. Whatever your source of stress or strife, for the people is there.
Well, hello, Mr. and Mrs. America. I am Keith Allen and proudly welcoming you to this Tuesday's edition of For the People. It's June the 6th, 2017, and we have some news for you and some conversation that you'll want to talk about. So be sure to pull up a chair, and if you're driving, please continue to drive and just enjoy the broadcast wherever you might be listening today. Notre Dame is where we head today, in a cathedral, of course, very famous. And a man, what does he do today? He takes a hammer out and starts going after a police officer, but he got a surprise. He got shot. He's alive, but he got shot very, very quickly, unlike in the UK. You see, there's a big difference between being in the UK and in being in Paris, France, or anywhere in France. The police actually have guns, and as we can see this morning, of course, afternoon their time, the guns were highly effective. A woman earlier in the church asked how she was doing, how she was feeling.
Yeah, fine, yeah. Everyone's calm here, trying not to panic.
Police have everything under control. It's not clear right now whether it was ISIS-inspired. I mean, they're going to take his world apart and find out what's up, what's the deal with him. They will find out very, very quickly. But somebody just wrote in, so we are trapped in Notre Dame. Something is happening outside. We don't know what it is. Somebody tweeted, police sirens can be heard. So it was a big scene. Large number of police cars filled the area. And they made announcements in French and in English at Notre Dame. But again, just one hammer-wielding assailant was taken down, shot, not dead, but finding out what was going on there. But a reminder, even for France, terrorism exists. Now, we don't know, and that's just what it is. We don't know if it was just a guy out of his mind. However, it does have ISIS kind of written on it, and that is that ISIS has told its people, if you want to join the cause, to pick up regular household items, hammers, knives, anything you can beat somebody in the head with or hurt somebody with, go ahead and use it. Vehicles, whatever means possible. So he decided he wanted to pick up a hammer. Again, I don't want to get into the habit of saying it's this or it's that until information comes out a little bit, but I'm just saying that this is what ISIS is about, and luckily nobody else was hurt. But guns are a great deterrent. I mentioned Texas being there over the weekend and finding out that everybody kind of open carries. It's just a great deterrent. Gun use is fantastic. Now, in the hands of a wrong person, obviously. But there's always a way around things. They can't get a gun. They get a knife. They can get some kind of weapon in a determined terrorist. But one thing is very scary, that if you live over in England and the terrorists do have guns, and they've had guns, they've used guns, and you can't have a gun or access to a gun, you better be really quick with a bow and arrow or with a knife. I would rather have a gun personally. That's just me. Well, the leaker, at least one of the leakers, was found. Did you hear? And what a name. Reality Winner. That's her name. I'm not even kidding. She's a 25-year-old federal contractor. 25 years old. She's a linguist, and she speaks several languages, Farsi, etc. But she was the one who decided that she wanted to sell out her country. and she got caught. She got busted. She's a former Air Force linguist who speaks Middle East languages, like I say, Farsi, Dari. Her mother, Billy Winner Davis, she was talking to The Guardian earlier. She says, I never thought this would be something she would do. I mean, she's expressed to me that she's not a fan of Trump, but she's not someone who would go and riot or picket. Still, her Facebook and Twitter feeds are loaded with political rants against Trump, ranging from criticism of his plan to build a wall along the Mexican border to keep out illegal immigrants and to the environmental agenda. So this Winner, she's been employed of the federal government as a federal contractor, and the name of the company is Pluribus International since February, and had, of all things, a top secret clearance. And the Justice Department on it, they didn't see what was happening, and just until now, what she was being accused of leaking, nor did it identify the media outlet that received the information. But the Department of Justice announced of the charges came within an hour of The Intercept posting a story about leaked documents of Russian hacking attempts in the 2016 presidential elections. And the date of the document in the DOJ released also matched the one in the Intercept story, May 5th, 2017. She says, I don't know what the hacking thing all means. Winner's mother told The Guardian. Had it really made a difference in the election, who knows? Yeah, it's that kind of stuff, hacking, leaking, tends to have some reaction, absolutely. This is one amongst many, folks. This is not just the sole leaker, but one, and classified information, and much more information will be coming out on our winner. Reality Winner. Wow. What a name to name your kid. Who's Reality Winner? Once again, the alleged leaker accused of feeding classified reports online to a news agency, and big colorful history on social media, like I say, just down on the Alaskan pipeline and environmental stuff, and she's a big hater of Trump, doesn't like Trump at all. But what a way to throw away your life. She's facing 10, 15 years in federal penitentiary. You betcha. She called her mother, worried about her pets. Well, isn't that nice? Her mom's going to take her cats and dogs. Meow. That's cute. I knew sooner or later, with the investigations going on about the leaking going on, too much of it, that the Trump administration continues ongoing, and it's going to be a purging of the swamp. But it takes all kinds. And like I say, I think it's a shame. But traitors come in all ages, all faces. And they work for us. Not very patriotic at all, because it's treasonous, in my opinion. That's what I feel. It's treasonous. They should throw the book at her. What a thing to do, to sell out your country and make your country look stupid. And I'll tell you, if somebody else that's making our country look stupid, or excuse me, rather himself, actually, is Keith Oberman. He does this show on GQ. It's called GQ with Keith Oberman. Have you seen it? Flaming liberal, big snowflake. Well, he's apologizing to the UK for what he called insensitive comments by Donald Trump. Oberman, the current host of GQ's political web show, The Resistance. He used to be on MSNBC. I think they canned his ass. And for good reason. But let's roll some of this. And let's just kind of comment in and out for what he has to say. But it's kind of like, it's interesting. He sets himself up to be some kind of dignified authority on all things, as if he himself is the president and all-knowing. And that is the really bizarre thing of the left, the hypocrisy, the ignorance the things that they throw out without merit and totally do it with a straight face. And you got to watch these things on Newsmax. Keith Oberman, GQ. All right, here he is, Mr. Oberman.
I'm Keith Oberman, and this is The Resistance. Let me apologize again to the world, particularly to the United Kingdom, on behalf of the United States of America. Donald Trump is not of sound mind. We are working to correct the problem as soon as possible. Amid all that he creates, mass confusion, charges of corruption, hints at collusion, there is a stark reality. In almost any other job in this country, assuredly in any other private sector job, no matter the financial cost, no matter the upheaval, no matter the blowback, Donald Trump, our national embarrassment, our international disgrace, would have been fired by now.
Mr. Oberman, you've been canned from MSNBC. You're doing an online broadcast, dismal numbers. You had dismal numbers at MSNBC. You'd been fired long ago. But thanks for being so much of an authority in government.
Complete incompetence.
I would say that's incompetence to you. But please continue.
Complete failure and his complete inability.
Complete failure, complete inability to do anything, to get anything done. Please go on.
See his incompetence and his failure as anything except personal brilliance. Would get him fired everywhere from the boardroom at Microsoft.
But it hasn't got him fired. You want him fired. He's the commander-in-chief. And he also was president of the Trump organization for eons. He built most of New York City, thank you very much, or at least made the skyline beautiful and something to look at. The company's doing quite well. Actually, his sons just announced a new hotel line that'll be affordable because they saw a need for middle America to be able to have decent or better lodging options for a better price, which is great. But his son's doing a great job. Incompetent people don't have billion-dollar companies, but thanks, Mr. Oberman. You wish you had the money Trump had, or his sons, or his daughters. But please, go on.
Off to the deep fryer at McDonald's. At least 7 dead and 48 wounded in terror attack, and Mayor of London says there is no reason to be alarmed. The Mayor of London did not say that.
What did he say?
Londoners will see an increased police presence today and over the course of the next few days. No reason to be alarmed.
No reason to be alarmed. He did say that. Plenty of reason to be alarmed because it's an increase. They're sitting ducks in England. Sitting ducks. They're politically correct. You got a Muslim mayor who's not being tough enough. In England, you're going to get more of these if you don't get smart to root this out. There has to be an all-out war against terror. Donald Trump is right. But please continue, Mr. Oberman, Mr. All-Knowing.
One of the things the police and all of us need to do is make sure we're as safe as we possibly can be. Mayor Khan was urging Londoners not to be alarmed at additional police presence.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what Trump was getting at. Let's take the police off the street. And that's what fellow Londoners believed that he had said. Don't be alarmed at the police. Excuse me, but even so, think about it, folks. You got officers with AK-47s and every type of assault rifle and tactical gear. It kind of reminds you of what happened at 9/11. I'll never forget being in the Beltway shortly after in D.C. on bridges, and you see soldiers standing with that. There's a little anxiety left over, I'm sorry, but it does raise your blood pressure and it elevates the situation. And for those that suffer from anxiety, a real situation. But please, go on, Mr. Oberman.
Proclaimed himself the law and order candidate. He is symbolized by additional police presence. He is in agreement with Mayor Khan. But Donald Trump is not the kind of man who will take yes for an answer. He's now doubled down on...
Why should he? He's not the standard politician, Mr. Oberman. And if he would have listened to people like you and the left media, he would have just given up long ago. When you believe in something,